Hello, my beautiful friend. It's Betsy Gutting. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about the Libra new moon happening on Sunday, September 25th at 2:55 p.m. Pacific time, 5:55 p.m. Eastern time, and 9:55 p.m. Universal time. So you want to adjust for wherever you are, but we always feel new moons several days before and often up to a week afterwards. So it's not just the exact date, and all new moons are when the sun and the moon are coming together to co-create something new. And I love thinking about the sun as the divine masculine energy within all of us, the moon as the divine feminine energy within all of us. And so here we have our masculine and feminine coming together, co-creating in union, deciding what is it that we want to seed, plant, which nest do we want to put our eggs in going forward. And I always like to give you an overview of the new moon before we get into the aspects and before I do the 12 sign readings. As an overview, this new moon in Libra, which is 7th house relationship energy, I feel that we are all going to feel very proud of ourselves when we are through this new moon energy, when we get to the Aries full moon 2 weeks later. I think we're all going to feel like we really accomplished something. We really approached something in a new way, in partnership, whether it's a partnership that we already have, a new partnership, perhaps a budding relationship, or just us working together with others collaboratively, where we came out of this feeling like we were both on the same page. We created a win-win solution together. This actually felt really good. I think that we're honing a skill in how can we work together with others to get our needs met. So I'm going to share with you a little bit more about the themes of this Libra new moon, what you can expect, how you can work with these energies, how you can finesse, because I think we're all going to be doing a little bit of finessing. We're all going to be up against our growing edge, I think, in terms of working with other people. And also, of course, who will be most affected. Who will feel this new moon in Libra most personally? And of course, I love doing the readings for all 12 signs. I'm going to pull an oracle card for each sign. I will be sharing a channeled message from Spirit with you and letting you know in which house this new moon is happening for you. So be sure and listen to your sun sign. That is how your ego personality will experience this new moon. Your moon sign, which is how your emotional self will experience it, and your rising sign, which is the practical area of life in which this new moon is happening for you. So before I get into more details, I want to say hi if you're new to me. I am an intuitive life coach as well as a psychic astrologer. And I love helping you to pull down a vision from your higher self, bring it into reality with support. I want to be your believing mirror, your creative champion, and the one who helps hold you accountable in a gentle and loving way so that you can take those steps that you've been wanting to take and really see something come to fruition for yourself. At the end of the video, I'll tell you all about what is an astrology consultation with me, tell you a little bit about my coaching, and I have a free gift for you. So be sure to stay tuned till the end so I can share with you what that free gift is and how you can get it. So this new moon in Libra is happening at 2 degrees. 2 degrees. So right off, I see that number 2, which is all about partnership. It's all about intimacy and connection. It's where we want to collaborate with others, where we're tired of doing it alone, where we don't want to be feeling like we're swimming out in the middle of the ocean by ourselves, but we're able to work with others and feel supported. It's also the number of divine support, of connecting with your soul. And if you haven't checked my book out yet, The Magic of Saying Yes, Answering Your Heart's True Calling, it is linked below, and I encourage you to go check it out because in my book, I teach you how to create that solid, sustainable, deep connection with your own soul, with your own spirit, how to partner with your soul. So you will feel this new moon in Libra most personally if you have planets or points in your natal astrology chart between 0 and 6 degrees of Libra. 0 and 6 degrees of Libra or the other cardinal signs of Cancer, Capricorn, or Aries. It will also be more intense for those of you who have planets or points between 28 and 29 degrees of Virgo. 28 and 29 degrees of Virgo, or the other mutable signs of Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. Now, Libra is a cardinal air sign. Cardinal meaning Libra likes to initiate. It's a go-getter. It wants to go out into the world and make things happen. Air is communication. It's our thoughts. It's our desire to be social, to connect with others, to collaborate with others. We want to get out there and meet new people. Libra is also the scales. There's a balance here that is needed and wanted. There's a harmony. Libra energy loves harmony. It doesn't like conflict. It avoids conflict. It doesn't want, there's a propensity to want to please other people, because when you please other people, then you don't have to deal with that dissension or the discomfort of not being on the same page. In Libra energy, we want to be on the same page. We want to be in agreement. So Libra also rules diplomacy, agreements, and contracts. Libra energy is also very much about beauty. Libras are generally artists, and artists of some form, whether that's, the fine arts or arts and crafts, but Libras love to create. So we're all going to be maybe feeling a push to create something new in our lives. And as I'm speaking about this, I hear somebody using a power saw outside. So I hope that you can't hear it, but if you do, just think of it as they're building a house and we are all building something now as well. So you may have a strong desire to create something of beauty during this time. Also, I think some of us are going to be negotiating agreements, contracts. We're going to be working with another person to get what we want. Now, what's really interesting about this new moon in Libra is that Jupiter retrograde in Aries is opposing this new moon. What does this mean? Jupiter, most of us think of as expansion, as good fortune, as good luck even. Jupiter wants to take things to the higher octave. Jupiter can be very exuberant, joyful, hopeful, optimistic. It's a buoyant energy, generally speaking. Jupiter in Aries represents the self. So Jupiter in Aries is the pioneer. Jupiter in Aries is also about desire. It's about desire. It's the fire burning in the belly. I finally realized what I want, and it may be hard, but I'm still going to go for this. I'm going to feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm going to take a risk. Jupiter in Aries is definitely a risk-taking energy. So here we have the sun and the moon in Libra together, and directly opposite on the zodiac, we have Jupiter in Aries. It's an almost exact opposition. And I think this is actually going to have a really nice balancing effect between self and other, because in Libra energy, we want cooperation, we want support, we want collaboration, we want to agree. We really want to agree. But sometimes in order to agree, what do? We negotiate our own needs. We stay silent on the things that we really need so as to not rock the boat. Well, Jupiter in Aries is not afraid to rock the boat. Jupiter in Aries is not going to be silent on the things that it knows it needs. So here we all are in the big picture, stepping out on a new course, and now we have an airplane flying overhead. There's a lot of action. I think this is going to be a very active new moon, because Aries is very active. Okay, we'll let this pass. Okay, so it went by. So Aries is very active energy. It needs to keep moving. We need to release our stress with Aries energy. Aries is a go-getter. When I think of Jupiter in Aries, I think of a rocket ship taking off. So let's say you're in a negotiation of some sort during this new moon. It could be anything, right? You could be negotiating something for a job. You could be negotiating a lease or a mortgage. You could be wanting to take a trip and, talking with the airlines about which flight is the best flight for you. It could be anything. And when I get into the 12 sign readings, I'm going to let you know in which area this is happening for you. But let's say you're having a conversation or a negotiation, because I think during this new moon, there's going to be a lot of back and forth. We're going to be having a lot of these kinds of discussions with other people. The key to working with this energy during this Libra new moon is to pay very close attention to what's coming up for you. Throat chakra. Interesting that my throat chakra is kind of getting clogged as I'm talking about negotiating and having a conversation with somebody. Here's the thing. So many of us as highly sensitive people, as empaths, have buried our needs, have been afraid to speak up, have been afraid to say what we really want, right? Because in childhood, a lot of the times, or in past lives, maybe we were burned to the stake for explaining who we were, for being true to ourselves and saying who we were. Or maybe we got punished or sent to our rooms when we were really vocal. I know me growing up, my mom used to tell me quite often, "You're too demanding." That was her story about me. She had a lot of nice stories about me too, but the biggest negative story I remember about her was I was too demanding. And I was talking about this with a Libra friend the other day, and my Libra friend said, "The truth about you is you're not too demanding. You have clear preferences. You have clear preferences, and it's okay for you to have preferences, Betsy. It's okay for you to have them, and it's okay for you to voice them. And some people will say yes, and some people will say no. But if you don't voice them, nobody's going to do it for you." And this is, I think, one of the messages for this Libra new moon is allow yourself to have preferences. You are the one who gets to live with you and your life is created from your preferences, right? So if you don't ask for what you want, you're going to be living in a reality of someone else's preferences rather than your own. Since Libra is a diplomatic energy, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised that where in the past we may have had difficulty asking to have our needs met or even expressing our needs, this time we're going to be able to do it in a way that is diplomatic, in a way that the other person can hear. And here's a message that I really love that came through when I was preparing for this new moon. Instead of thinking of this as they're the adversary and I have to sort of fight to get what I need, which is typical Aries energy, is like overcoming obstacles and, fighting for what we want. Instead of that, think of it as this person wants me to have what I want. They want to see me succeed, and I want them to get what they want. I want to see them to succeed at what they want. So how can we both have each other's backs and create a win-win solution? Now, we also have Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Mercury is retrograde in Virgo, and Venus is in Virgo also. Well, Virgo energy does not let us get away with skirting over the details. Whereas in Jupiter and Aries energy, we might get very exuberant about something. We might see what it is that we want and be like, yes, I want it, I'll take it. Whether it's a job, whether it's a new home, whether it's an adventure to a new place we haven't been before. With Jupiter and Aries, we may just be like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go for it. And we want to just the details will figure themselves out later. Not when Mercury is retrograde in Virgo. We want to pay close attention to the details. And Virgo energy is usually very attuned, because Virgo has a tendency to be a little bit perfectionistic or very perfectionistic, depending on the Virgo that you talk to. A lot of us are recovering perfectionists. I will say that for myself. So I think having Mercury retrograde in Virgo and Venus in Virgo, because this new moon in Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus rules Libra. I think is really going to help us to make sure that we take care of the details, that we attend to them, that we don't sweep them under the rug, that we don't act like they're not important to us. In Virgo energy, it's very personal energy. It's very important that we honor our own needs. So I think the key to finessing this new moon in Libra is stepping back if you have doubts, not acting rashly. With Jupiter and Aries, we can feel impulsive. We can feel like if I don't take this new apartment, someone else is going to take it and I won't have another chance. If I don't say yes to this job, they're going to offer it to somebody else and I won't get a better job. If I don't go out with this new person, or give this person that I've been with what they want, then I may lose the relationship. So what we don't want to do is act from that place of fear or lack or fear of losing something. And I think where some of us will have a real breakthrough during this new moon is that we'll become aware that we are afraid of repeating a so-called failure of the past. We're afraid of having another loss like we did before. Or afraid of doing it wrong, afraid of making a mistake. And I'll give you a quick example. Years and years ago in the 90s, when my former husband and I were buying our very first house, we traveled to Seattle from the East Coast to look for a house. And we only gave ourselves, gosh, I think it was a week or 10 days to find a new house. And we were really afraid that if we didn't buy that house quickly, we were going to lose out on our chance to buy a new house, because it was back in the late 80s, early 90s when the housing market in Seattle was going absolutely crazy and it was just blowing up. So we were like, we got to get there fast and find a house and get a house or we'll miss out. And so we did that, and we looked and looked and looked, and finally we found something. It was definitely a fixer-upper. I called it the shack, so that gives you an idea. But it was ours. It was a new home, and we were pretty excited, even though there were a lot of things that needed fixing and changing and redoing, and it needed a huge remodel. But I remember flying back on the plane after we had signed the contract. We had bought the house, our first house, very scary, very anxiety provoking. And we're flying back on the plane, and I turned to look at my husband. I was like, it doesn't have a garage. We bought a house without a garage. We were so in a hurry to get this contract done and take care of it that we didn't even notice that it didn't have a garage. Not only that, but because we rashly rushed into this purchase, it turned out that we actually paid too much for the house. We paid too much for it. And we didn't know this until, we were newbies. We were brand new home buyers, but we didn't know we paid too much until weeks later we found out that all of the comparables that came in, they all came in much lower than what we actually paid for the house. And none of the realtors told us. And our realtor didn't tell us. The seller's realtor didn't tell us. Nobody told us. Everyone kind of swept it under the rug to keep the deal together. Now, was it a Mercury retrograde? I honestly don't remember. I have to go back and look. But what I know for sure about Mercury retrograde, and about if you want something to happen quickly and you're feeling pressure, which you could very well feel during this new moon in Libra, like, I've got to get this thing done, I've got to take care of it, or I might lose my chance. This is exactly what this new moon energy does not want us to do. Yes, we want to succeed. Yes, we want to see it come to fruition. But if you're feeling stressed and pressured and in that place of fear or lack, I definitely encourage you to step back, come back to your heart, come back to what you really want, and reflect on, is this really what I want? And personally, I would not sign a contract for something that is long-term, like a mortgage or a lease or a car purchase or anything, any big ticket item. I personally would not do that until Mercury goes direct on October 2nd. It's just 1 week after this new moon. And, some people will go ahead and do it anyway, and it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to have problems. But personally, when I have done that, I have ended up having issues. And so I've learned, and I've got Mercury in Gemini. So lots of planets in Gemini are ruled by Mercury. So it may be that I feel that more intensely. But I encourage you, if you possibly can, to give it a week or so and think on it, reflect on it, and then maybe don't sign a contract or make a big purchase until after October 2nd. I love the quote by Cheryl Richardson: if it's not an absolute yes, it's a no. If it's not an absolute yes, it's a no. And this is where we want to tune into that Jupiter in Aries, because Jupiter is that expansive energy. It's our connection to the divine. And we want to say, okay, Spirit, show me my other options. Show me, if I don't feel absolutely clear that this option is the best one for me, remind me of who I am. Remind me that I'm a powerful co-creator. And you know what I think is really going to help with this, with us feeling this way, is Pluto. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn is trining positive energy flow, trining both Mercury retrograde in Virgo and Venus in Virgo. So I think Pluto is going to give us a big lift up of personal power. And Pluto is going to shine light on any truth, anything that's hidden that we can't see about a decision that we might be about to make. I think Pluto is going to say, well, look over here, check this out before you make your decision, because Pluto is the best BS detector. Pluto is a great detective, and Pluto has us tuning into the truth, to what's really there. So if you get intuitive nudges, which we all will during this new moon, my friend, be sure and pay attention to what you're being guided to. Ask the questions that you have to ask. Be willing to speak up. Advocate for yourself. Don't abandon yourself. You might be surprised that people say yes to you where you thought in the past they would have said no. We've all done a lot of soul growth and we've all come a long way. And I believe, feel that many of us are going to come out of this, as I said at the opening of this video, feeling proud of ourselves, feeling like we've come a long way. We've built a skill and we've learned to see life as supportive of us. Life supports me. The universe supports me. Life wants me to have my heart's desire. I have all the support, the resources, the money, the time, the help that I need to make my dreams come true. And if you're not feeling this, my friend, I really encourage you to watch the video on Saturn square Uranus, because this is coming up. In fact, during this new moon, Saturn and Uranus are just 1 degree apart. And Saturn square Uranus wants us to increase our sense of deserving, this is a reinvention energy. It's reinventing yourself, reinventing your life, and it brings movement. So I think we're all going to have more movement around this Libra new moon time than maybe we're even expecting. Forward, positive movement, progress, maybe even something that you want to write home about, that you're calling all your friends about, that you're announcing to people, something really exciting. And Jupiter in Aries is going to give us that confidence and courage to take our approach to our own desires to the next level, to believe in ourselves. I feel this strong sense of, I believe in myself. I can make this happen. The universe is supporting me. Okay, so let's do the 12 sign readings now. I'm shuffling my cards. These are the Trust Your Vibes cards by Sonia Choquette. And let's start with Libra. Beautiful Libra, hello. This is your new moon in your first house. First house is your identity. So you may be reworking an identity during this time or coming out with a whole new identity. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. That's you, Libra. That's what you're doing during this new moon. This is also your appearance. It is how you how you put yourself together. It is also the roles that you play, what you do personally, career-wise, in your groups of friendships. How do you want to be seen by other people? Now, when you have a new moon in your first house, dear Libra, it really affects all areas of your life because it's a brand new beginning for you. So I encourage you to think of this as kind of like a buffet, like a free-for-all, like a smorgasbord. Like you can plant seeds of intention in any area of your life because first house is really very expansive in that sense. Now, the message I got for you, Libra, from Spirit is this is a big turning point in your life. Many of you are in the process of shedding a skin, birthing a brand new identity. It may feel like a whole rebirth to you. Some of you felt scattered to me. I felt some scattered energy. And then others of you, I felt like, I know what I want. I'm very clear. I know exactly what I'm going for. My question for you, Libra, is what does your intuition say? What does your intuitive guidance say? What does your heart most desire? In my most recent article that I write weekly about the astrology of the week, I asked my readers, what if a fairy godmother landed in your living room tonight before you went to sleep and said, you have 3 wishes, what would your 3 wishes be? What 3 things do you want more than anything? This is your assignment, Libra, that I am giving you as your coach right now, to write down your 3 wishes. If time, money, resources, nothing like that were an issue, if the way was completely clear to you, what would you wish for? Okay, so beautiful Libra, I'm shuffling the cards and let's see what the cards have to say for you. Libra. And your card is cloak yourself in light. Cloak yourself in light. So most of you watching are highly sensitive people. You are empathic. It's very easy to absorb other people's energies. This is saying, protect your beautiful heart by cloaking yourself in light, doing some sort of a chakra clearing on a regular basis, or simply before you leave the house, imagining, I like using violet light, imagining violet light shining down on my crown, moving through my whole body, enveloping me in this beautiful violet light, or you might want to do green healing light. That's also very, very healing, and it is resonant with the heart chakra. But this card is simply saying, do your psychic hygiene, beautiful Libra, and it will really increase your energy physically, emotionally, mentally. It will really help you to feel more energized and more ready to take on the next thing, because you're a cardinal sign, you're a go for it sign, you're a go-getter. And I'm sure with a new moon in Libra in your first house, fresh, brand new beginning, a brand new cycle, a brand new probably life chapter for many of you, you are ready to take on the world, so to speak, to come out as the brilliant, beautiful, sparkling butterfly that you are. So happy new moon, beautiful Libra. Okay, Virgo, hello, beautiful Virgo. This new moon in Libra is happening for you in your second house. Your second house of income, it's your values, it is your self-esteem, your self-worth, it's self-love. And so this is where you are planting a new beginning, a new intention for, perhaps it's you want to increase your income, perhaps you want to get a new job, maybe you are really getting clear on your values and noticing that your values have shifted quite a bit, Virgo, and that you want to create something new that's in alignment with your new values. Or maybe you realize you really want to increase your self-esteem. You really want to love yourself more, and maybe you will embark on something like a new plan, working with a coach, for example, or doing something that's going to help you and support you in the area of self-love. And I have a video for you on inner child healing. It's called Reparenting Yourself, so you might want to check that out. I will try to remember to link that in the description box as well. So, and you can hear the sawing going on across the street. It's very loud. Even though I've closed all my windows, you can still hear it. You're building something. That's a building energy, right? They're building something. You are building something too, Virgo. And I definitely feel an upswing in your energy. I know it's been really challenging for Virgos, but I feel an upswing in your energy of a new sense of like life is getting easier. I really hope you feel that. So your message from Spirit is you are safe. You deserve the best. You're safe, dear Virgo, and you deserve the best. Give yourself credit. This is something that's not easy for Virgos because you guys can be so humble, so humble. You are so service oriented, wanting to help the world. Spirit said, count your hidden assets, your hidden assets, not just how much money you have in the bank, not just your possessions, not just your home or your car and all that, your hidden assets, your gifts, your talents, your abilities. This is the time for you to become very aware of talents and abilities that you may not be using right now. Like many of you have psychic ability, many of you have healing abilities. You could do Reiki, you could do card readings, you could do astrology, some of you. And it's time for you to really give yourself credit for that and own that and claim those abilities, gifts, and talents so that you can begin to feel that feeling of fulfillment that comes from sharing that with others. And the last message from Spirit is claim your boundaries, Virgo. Claim your boundaries. Will make you feel safe, and you're more safe, and your inner child more safe when you're setting clear boundaries with others. So let's see what the cards have to say for you, Virgo. Virgos. Your card is accept the gifts of the universe. Accept the gifts of the universe. So this is about receiving, and how perfect with second house of income being where this new moon is for you. There's bounty here. There's this cornucopia. There is a bag of gold. There are all of these abundantly growing things, and the sun and the stars. And it's like, accept the gifts of the universe, because the universe wants to shower gifts on you, but so often receiving, I know for me, receiving can be difficult too. There's something just about allowing yourself to notice if you have any walls up maybe around your heart, around your solar plexus, around your throat chakra that are keeping you from expressing your needs, keeping you from receiving more in your heart, and allowing yourself to feel that bounty of the universe, to remember that you don't have to do it all by yourself, Virgos. I know you're a great researcher. I know it's like you are the practical healer, the doctor, so to speak. You are the one that can figure out remedies to almost everything. You really are, but you don't have to do all that all by yourself. The universe wants to support you too. So the universe has a bounty of abundance waiting for you, Virgo, to accept. Happy new moon in Libra. Okay, Leos. Hello, beautiful Leo. This new moon in Libra is happening in your third house. Your third house is your immediate environment. It is your neighborhood, your neighbors. It is siblings, it's communication. It's also short trips. It's like all these different things that don't seem like they fit together. But it is everything that's happening in terms of interactions with other people, because it is a communication house that's happening in your community, your location, around where you live. Your message from Spirit is that, well, first of all, I tuned into you, and some of you felt invigorated to me. Some of you felt really like there's a lot of energy flowing through you right now, and it's feeling good. It felt like a flow. I felt this desire for more festive occasions, for more social time, just being in more festive atmosphere. And Spirit said, take your time. You are not in a rush. You may feel like you're in a rush, especially with Jupiter and Aries being a fire sign and you being a fire sign. You could feel this like, I have to get this thing done. I have to make this happen. But the Spirit made a very clear, emphatic message through me to you, which is there is no rush, even if it feels like that. Remember, we have lots of planets in retrograde right now. All the outer planets are in retrograde. Mercury is in retrograde. So many planets are in retrograde right now, and what that is a sign that there is not any rush to create something outside of us right now. It's more about deciding what we want and taking small steps in that direction. So let's see what the cards have to say for you, beautiful Leo. Leo. Your card is Call on your joy guides. Leo, this is so much in alignment with the message about being festive and more social. This is so much about, okay, but this is saying for those of you who aren't sure what you really want, who feel just like, I know I want to move my energy, I know I want great things happening in my life, but I don't really know yet. This is about calling on your guides. We all have different forms of guides, right? Who take care of different things for us. You have joy guides too. Those who can really help you to do things that bring you lots of joy, lots of exuberance, even conviviality. I love that word. Conviviality, Leo. That is so you. That is so you. So call on your joy guides. Remember, you don't have to do this by yourself. Your joy guides are ready to be festive with you and celebrate with you. Happy new moon, beautiful Leos. And some of you, I should say this too, some of you may be having some close conversations with people around you, like siblings. Some of you may be having more collaborations with other people, more collegial collaborations, collaborations that are going to move you forward. So be sure and pay attention to who's around you and who might want to do things with you. Who would you want to do things with that would give you joy and move you forward? Okay. All right, Cancer. Hello, Cancer family. Cancer moon and rising here. So this new moon in Libra is happening in your fourth house of home, family, and your inner self. And I feel that many of you might be moving or considering a move or preparing for a move, even saying like, I'm going to clean out the closets in the basement just in case I end up deciding to move. Maybe you haven't decided yet. If not a move, it may very well be a remodel of your current home or just a beautification, buying new things for your home that makes it feel more updated or more like a sanctuary for you. And your message from Spirit, Cancer, is that, well, also a lot of you are doing clearing and just clutter clearing, etc. Your message from Spirit is that some of you may feel a rebirth of your inner self, like I'm new again and now I can take something on that in the past I wasn't ready to take on. There could be that. Also, you might feel a pressure to succeed or to do it right, and it could be causing a lot of anxiety in your head, especially during Virgo season and with Mercury retrograde in Virgo. So there is no rush, even though it may feel like a rush. Notice what your mind is telling you, beautiful Cancer. Is your mind telling you we're on a deadline? If we don't make this deadline, then, you know, something doom is going to happen. If that's the energy you're feeling, take some time out to meditate, step back, maybe even look at, okay, what's plan B? If this doesn't work out the way I want it to, and not saying that it won't, but having a plan B can sometimes just take the pressure off of you, just feeling like it's not, when we feel like we have to do something a certain way by a certain time and all of that, it can just feel, it can slow us down actually. It can make it more difficult to get something accomplished. Spirit also said that it's important to move your energy, keep the energy moving, because there's a lot of stuff up in the head right now, a lot of stuff going on in our minds. And take breaks, step back, take breaks, think about other things besides just whatever your main fourth house goal is right now. Take breaks from that so that you can balance out the energies. So let's see what the cards have to say for you, Cancer. Cancers. Your card is expect the best. Expect the best. So this dovetails with what I was saying about the mind. The mind can be a bad neighborhood. The mind thinks of all the reasons that something could go wrong. The mind thinks it has to do everything by itself. The mind doesn't believe it has support. Most of our minds forget that we have support and that the universe is a friendly place and the universe wants us to succeed. That phrase, the universe is conspiring for your success. This is what this card is saying. Expect the best. And notice that this person has a gift over their head and they got their arms in this victorious position, and there's a minus and a plus, like a battery. And it's like magnetize to you what you really want, magnetize the gifts of the universe to you when you are a magnet to them, when your thoughts are a magnet. So our thoughts need to be aligned with what it is we want to do. And for me, beautiful Cancer, being a Cancer moon rising, we are very imaginative. We're able to go into our imagination and really see, sense, and feel, or one of those modalities, feel what it would feel like to have the thing that you most want. So I encourage you to do that, to really immerse yourself in those yummy feelings. As Abraham Hicks says, get into the vortex and feel those yummy feelings of having what it is you want. And don't be afraid to imagine it in a way that feels to your mind like that could never happen, that's way too big, that costs too much money, whatever. Like, don't be afraid to imagine yourself. Like when I moved to Laguna Beach, I imagined myself in an apartment overlooking the ocean. Like I was literally on the cliff on the ocean. And did I get on the ocean? No, but I got like 2 blocks away from the ocean, which was more than, truthfully, than my mind ever thought I could have. On the ocean, yeah, they were like, you know, in the like 5,000-10,000 a month kind of range. But I did get a couple blocks away from the ocean, and that was more than, again, my mind thought I could have. So use your power of visualization, beautiful Cancer. Expect the best, because you are the best. So you deserve a match for your energy. Happy new moon in Libra. Hello, beautiful Gemini. Happy new moon in Libra. I have my sun in Gemini. So this new moon in Libra is happening in your 5th house of true love, romance, creativity, and children. It's the house of fun. It's the house of play. Woohoo, Geminis. Yay, give me 5. We're ready for this, right? So your message from Spirit, beautiful Gemini, was it's time to release any thoughts that are not the thoughts that you can have what you want. In other words, it's time to align your thinking with what it is that your heart most wants. And you know, probably many of you, that in the tarot, the Gemini card is the 8 of Swords. Well, there are other beautiful cards like the Lovers, and I associate the Magician with Geminis as well, but also the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is where our thoughts make us feel like we're in a straitjacket, like we're imprisoned. But all we have to do is, like, you know, cut the cord to that, and the straitjacket falls off and we're free. So really, it's just our own mind creating that. So message from Spirit is expect the best, know that you deserve the very best, and align your thoughts with what it is that you most want. And for a lot of us, that would mean affirmations. The universe is supporting my highest good. The universe has my back. The universe wants me to have this as much as I want it. There is a match for anything that I want, that anything my heart wants, those kinds of things. I have all the money, time, resources, and support from others that I need to be victorious and successful. And also Spirit says, release past doubts and disappointments. If there's something that you want right now, beautiful Gemini, and you've had a disappointment in the same area before. So in your 5th house, say that you, say it has to do with love and romance, and you had a disappointment. And so now there's a part of you that doubts whether you can have that again. That is what is up for releasing. Okay, so the cards. What do the cards have to say for you, beautiful Gemini? Gemini. Well, this is not hard for you, Gemini. Be flexible, mutable sign. Geminis are amazing at being flexible. So check out this yoga pose. So I'm looking closely at this before I continue. I feel like, okay, so there's this person is balancing on a unicycle, has their hand on a unicycle, and then there are all these beautiful spiral and other designs on these, like, it's almost like there are logs and they're kind of like rolling over these logs. They're like, what I feel like this card is saying is that you are a match for any obstacle that comes your way. You can roll over your obstacles. You can bend your life in different directions. You can even bend time, Gemini. And I know that's very abstract and strange for me to say, but the point is you are the magician. You are the magician, and there's nothing external to you that has to get in your way. Call on the powers of your magician self, Gemini, to make things happen. If you can be flexible and know, this is about tuning into the signs and synchronicities and the truth of who you are and your abilities as an incredible co-creator, Gemini. You're an amazing manifester. You can do it. This card really, really shows that, metaphorically speaking. You are like a divine acrobat, metaphorically speaking. You can do this. Okay. Taurus, hello, beautiful Taurus. This new moon in Libra is happening in your 6th house. So the 6th house is work, it's everyday routines, it is your exercise program, it is the way you eat, your nutrition. It's just how we do our day to day. So your message from Spirit, and it's our habits, right? Your message from Spirit, Taurus, is that when I tuned into you, I got this sense of cautious optimism. I feel like you've been through a lot. You've had Uranus and the North Node in your sign, and then Uranus has been doing all kinds of unexpected things, and then Mars was conjuncting Uranus and the North Node for some time, and that was also could have been very stressful for you. So I feel like you've been through it, Taurus, and you are now resolving to create change in one or more of your habits, is what I feel like. You want, some of you, and it could be habit around work, it could be that you're in a toxic work environment and you want to get out of there. This could be around what you eat. It could be around how you move your body. But your message is it's time to release the fears. If there are any fears, and these might be subconscious, you may say, I don't have fears about this, but you also don't have a lot of energy toward changing habits, which usually indicates resistance and fear. The message is that release any fears that you can't have what you want, or that you can't improve, or that you won't improve something in your life, and write down what it is you want to change. Write down what you want to make improvements in. There's a book that I love that's an older book, but it's still powerful. It's called Write It Down, Make It Happen. One of the first books that I read on my spiritual path. It's by Henrietta Klauser. Write it down, make it happen. And she has all these wonderful stories of success stories in there of people doing various things that they wrote down, and how their dreams came into fruition from simply writing down what they wanted. So it's a really powerful book, and that's what came through when I was tuning into you. So let's see what the cards have to say for you, Taurus. Your card is, you're gonna laugh. Make a note of it. How synchronistic is that? Oh my goodness. And there is a pen right here. I did not plant this, I promise you. That's incredible. Why should I be surprised? There's an angel here next to this person, and the angel has hands on. So maybe this is a nod to some of you who do hands-on healing or need some hands-on healing. And then there's this pen, and there's a dove flying above, and all of this light, green healing light and blue light coming around the head of this person dressed in this beautiful robe. So you are supported by the angelic realms. And when you write something down and you make notes of it, you're also writing to your guides, and you're letting your guides know that what you want and how they can help you. And in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes, I give you exercises and tools for writing to the divine and receiving messages. And that is a practice. Some of you may already do it. But wow, when you really hone that practice, it is amazing. And I've done workshops on that with people before, and they've had success just in the first evening workshop. So we can all do it. You can do this too, beautiful Taurus. Okay, Aries. Hello, Aries. You are having this new moon in Libra in your 7th house of partnerships. How wild, because Libra is about partnership energy, and Libra rules the 7th house. And here you have this new moon happening in your 7th house of committed relationships. So this is all partnerships, whether they be romantic or otherwise, clients. It can even be relationships with your children when they are very significant in your daily life. Your message from Spirit is that you have a clear inner knowing. I got this sense that many of you have your own sense right now of, I've got this. I'm doing this. Jupiter is in Aries. Jupiter is in your 1st house right now. For those of you who are Aries risings. So this would make you feel very buoyant, I would think, and very hopeful and optimistic and sure of yourself. Spirit says it's time to feed your spirit. It is time to, Spirit says feed your spirit. It's time to give yourself what you need to feel enlivened, to feel like you are nourishing yourself on all levels. If you feel like for some of you, this is going to make you really ready to be in a committed partnership, really ready, or to start a business with a partner, that kind of thing. And you may feel like, where's my partner? Where's my business partner? Where's my romantic partner? Where's my lover? You may feel that during this new moon. If you're feeling that way and you're feeling kind of down about it, or like a lack, if it feels like a lack, something missing, I really want to encourage yourself to give yourself whatever you feel like you would receive from that romantic partner or from that business partner. I know that's a stretch, but give yourself what you need. Imagine what it would be like to have that person in your life, to be doing things with them, and then whatever your images are, give that to yourself to the best of your ability. I know there's some things we can't give to ourselves, but a lot of things we can. And some of you need an adventure. Some of you need to take an adventure. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. Okay, beautiful Aries, call on your angels. For those of you who are questioning, call on your angels. You're not doing this alone. You have angels. You are an earth angel, and you have angels who help you. And they love it when you call on them. They love to be of service, and they love it when you acknowledge them and send gratitude to them. And then you feel more secure, you feel more grounded, and you feel more in integrity with your soul, because you know that you have evidence that they're there and you're not alone. So this can really lift you, beautiful Aries. Happy new moon in Libra. Okay, Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Pisces, this new moon in Libra is happening in your 8th house, of transformation, death and rebirth, investments, sexuality, taboos. Have I missed anything? Releasing anything toxic from your life. That is also 8th house. When I tuned in to your energy, I got a sense of equilibrium. And I thought that was really interesting, because oftentimes in the 8th house, we feel like it can feel stressful, but I got a sense of equilibrium, and I think that you are coming into your power, especially with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, which is all about power and personal power, trining Venus in Virgo and Mercury retrograde in Virgo. So I feel like there's this beautiful energy flow right now between Pluto and Capricorn and these planets in Virgo. And this is grounding you. I think it's giving you a sense of grounding, Pisces. Your message from Spirit is that you're going through a process of learning how to better manage your energy, especially managing your energy within relationships. So not giving yourself away, taking care of you, but also receiving all the beautiful gifts of being in relationship. Spirit also said that psychic hygiene is part of that, like physical energy process. And make sure you cut cords. If you do service work with people, or you do any work, you know, you are a healer, a natural healer, Pisces. So any kind of interactions with others, it's important to cut the cords. I always imagine cords in my solar plexus, but they could be, you know, there could be cords going back and forth for any of the chakras. But cutting those cords, we can never cut the heart cords. Those are, you know, the highest energy of loving, unconditional love. The other cords, however, can really help you keep you from being drained. Okay, so, and also crystal healing. If you have crystals or rocks, you can put them on your body. You know, I mean, like the nice rocks that have stones is what I meant. You can put them on your body and do a little bit of breathing, a little breath work, or just simply visualizing whatever you want to visualize. And that could also be really clearing and healing for you, Pisces. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. And I apologize for the sawing noise in the background that's across the street, but it's coming through my windows nevertheless. Okay, Pisces. Pisces, listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. And see, there's a little lipstick mouth, kissing mouth. Maybe it's not lipstick. But it's a kissing mouth. And so I feel like this is saying, own your desires. And the number of this card is 44, which is double 4, which is about structure and teaching and like just creating good structure for yourself so you feel supported. But of course, 4 plus 4 adds up to an 8, which is the house in which this new moon is happening for you, the 8th house. So this card to me says, give yourself a smile. Imagine you're standing behind yourself, Pisces, and you're smiling at yourself. That always makes me smile when I imagine that. And if love is on your mind, give voice to it. Listen to your heart, journal. Say yes to your heart, beautiful Pisces. Happy new moon in Libra. Okay, Aquarius. Hello, Aquarius. This new moon in Libra is happening in your 9th house. 9th house is very elevating. It's very expansive. And I love that Jupiter is in Aries because Jupiter traditionally rules the 9th house. Jupiter is aspecting this new moon in Aries, as I spoke about at the beginning of the video. And you're having this new moon in your 9th house. So that bodes really well, I think, for good fortune and feeling good, feeling elevated. What I tuned in, Aquarius, when I tuned into you was, it's time. Like I have this feeling that you know that it's time. You know that it's time for a movement. You know that it's time it's like you recognize it. You recognize it's time for a positive change in your life and for you to take action in that direction. So you may still be reflecting on what that change is, what that action would be. Mercury is retrograde. A lot of planets are retrograde. That would be very much in alignment with the energies right now to still be reflecting. But a new chapter is beginning for you, and I think you know that it's time to step into something new. Some of you might be taking a new course because 9th house is, if I didn't say it already, I can't remember now, adventure, spirituality, it's higher learning, it's any kind of higher learning, whether it's getting a PhD or learning something metaphysical like astrology or Reiki or something else. So some of you may be doing a new course. Some of you may want to get certified in a metaphysical art, an intuitive art. Some of you may want to move to a foreign land because 9th house is international travel or living someplace else. And I also felt that some of you might be resisting change, still feeling resistant, even though you know in your heart, I've got to make a change, I've got to do this, you might still be resisting it. So Spirit said to me, first of all, the Mary Oliver quote, what is it that you plan to do, beautiful Aquarius, with your one wild and precious life? What would you like to do with your time? How do you want to spend your time? It can be that simple. How do I want to spend my time? And before you jump in with all the reasons that you can't spend your time the way you really want to spend it, give voice to what it is you really want. And also call on your angels and joy guides, because your joy guides know that what you really want is what brings you joy. And your joy guides will help you to see what that is if you've forgotten. And I'm pulling a card for you now, Aquarius. And your card is exercise your vibes. Exercise your vibes. Okay, really interesting. There's a lot of blue here, which is the throat chakra. This could be as simple as exercise helps you to get in touch with your vibes. We know that that's true, but I think it goes beyond that. As I'm looking at this card, I feel like this is acknowledging your intuitive nature. The light's in the way. Your intuitive nature, and exercise your intuitive nature, because that's a muscle that we build as well, just like other muscles, right? We build it. And so maybe you play intuitive games with people that are close to you. That's really fun. I love intuitive games. You can both say, if I were you, I would, or you tell each other the dream that you had. You share a dream and say, if that were my dream, this is how I would interpret it, that kind of thing. Share intuitive hits with other people that are close to you that want to play that game with you, because obviously it's something you have to both want. But this is about becoming aware and claiming your intuitive gifts and becoming more in touch with them. And yes, physical exercise definitely helps with that, Aquarius. So happy Libra new moon, beautiful Aquarius. And leave me a comment. Let me know if anything that I just shared with you resonates with you. I'd love to hear. Okay, Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Beautiful Capricorn. And this new moon in Libra is happening in your 10th house. Your 10th house is the most public house. It is your career. It's your life purpose. It's also retirement for those of you who are retiring or want to be retired. And it's just that sense of meaning and fulfillment in how you spend your time. So you could be very well asking yourself right now, Capricorn, what do I want to do next in my career? What do I want to change up? What do I want to seed new intentions for? How do I want to spend my time? Now, your message from Spirit was a question, actually. The question is, what makes you shine, beautiful Capricorn? What brings you alive? What lights you up? What makes you feel lit from within, Capricorn? That would be worth spending time journaling about or going into meditation about. Some of you are going to start a new endeavor, a new business, a new hobby, even if you don't need to make a certain amount of money, which I know is not most of us, but there are some that are, that are like semi-retired and can focus more on life as a hobby, so to speak. But you can be very ambitious, Capricorn, as I'm sure you're aware of. And I think you would get very ambitious about your purpose, your life purpose, and getting more clarity on what that is while this new moon is happening in your 10th house. I do life purpose readings, by the way, just so you know. You might want to check those out on my astrology page. Also, I have new testimonials on my astrology page that can give you a sense of what people have gotten from their readings. And Spirit also said it's time to let go. It's time to release guilt, particularly, but any other emotions that are in the way. It's time, Capricorn, to release your past. You are not your past. You are not your emotions. You are not anything that's what feels to be standing in the way of your potential. The road is wide open for you, Capricorn. There is nothing that's keeping you. The subconscious mind thinks that there are all kinds of obstacles. I don't have enough of this. I'm not enough. I need more money. I need more time. I have all these other obligations and commitments. I know you can be super responsible, Capricorn. That's kind of your signature, is you are very responsible, and that's beautiful. But sometimes by being so responsible to other people, we leave ourselves out of the equation and we become resentful and we become exhausted and you don't want to look back and say, why didn't I follow my dream? So let's pull a card for you, Capricorn, and see. Capricorn, what do the cards have to say for Capricorns? And your card is meditate. Meditate. And this is like two people. 4 arms, 2 legs, 4 legs. So I feel like this is saying, you know, when you meditate, you get in touch with your higher self, your other self, and you feel that much more powerful. This card is so straightforward. It's the number 22, and that's the master builder number. And you're a builder, Capricorn. As you meditate, you become in touch with what you want to build next in your life, that solid, sustainable foundation going forward. You can do it. Beautiful Capricorn, you are always looking for another mountain to climb. Meditate on it and the next step will come, and all you need is that one next step. Happy new moon in Libra. Okay. Sagittarius, hello Sagittarius. This new moon is happening for you in your 11th house. I love new moons in the 11th house because the 11th house is hopes, wishes, and dreams. You're seeding new intentions for that. It's also long-term gains. It's friendships, it's communities, it's groups and organizations. It's where we put ourselves out there. It's social media, it's networking. So I feel that you're going to have a lot more interactions going on around this new moon time, Sag. And the message I got when I tuned into your energy was that an injection of playfulness would be really good for you right now. Dancing, I got an image of dancing. And that could simply be a metaphor for getting back into the flow, for releasing any stuck energy, letting it fall off of you. Also, Spirit says it's time for you to commit to yourself around the basics of your health. Like real basics, like what you eat, how much you move your body, how much sleep you get, but just to see if there are any tweaks that you need to make in those areas, any tweaks you need to make when it comes to your physical body, and taking care of your health. And now I'm going to pull a card for you. Sagittarius, 11th house. Okay, what is your card? Your card is Feed Your Spirit. Feed your spirit. And that kind of dovetails with what I was saying about the injection of playfulness. And when I look at this card, this person has taken themselves out to a really cool place. They have a vase, a plant with a vase. There's a heart on the plate. There are candles in the background. There's a moon in the background. And there's room at the table for other people to join them, perhaps your spiritual guides or perhaps someone that you're expecting to join you, someone to have fun with, someone to play with. But in any case, whether you feel like you have that someone or not, take yourself out on a soul date. And in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes, I talk about soul dates and how taking yourself on a soul date can really feed your spirit, So some of you, if you haven't checked out my book yet and it's calling to you now, definitely check it out. There are a lot of beautiful exercises in the book and lots of my own stories and encouragement as well. So happy new moon in Libra, beautiful Sagittarius. Okay, Scorpio, hello Scorpio. Scorpio, this new moon in Libra is happening in your 12th house. 12th house of retreat. It's the subconscious mind. It's where we make connections with our inner mystic. It's our higher power, so to speak. It's where we can swim in the other realms, where we can let go and connect to our spiritual selves, where we can reconnect with the fact that we are human beings having we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're human beings having a I messed it up again. Scorpio, forgive me. Mercury's retrograde, so I'm gonna use that as an excuse, but it's where you realize you come back into connection with your spiritual self. And your message from Spirit, Scorpio, is that your intuition, your inner guidance is trying to tell you something. So can you commune with it? Can you sit and listen to it, journal about it, ask about it, write to Spirit, get there are answers that want to come to you, but Spirit is waiting for you to ask it so that it can get through to you. Also, a message was you are the one in control of your life. You have the reins of your life. Nobody else does. Even if it feels like, I know Scorpios have really been through it with all of the intense energy in the fixed signs and the South Node being in Scorpio and Uranus opposing your South Node. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. But Spirit wants you to feel the power of Pluto trining Virgo during this new moon. Trining, what I meant to say was Pluto retrograde in Capricorn trining Mercury retrograde in Virgo and Venus in Virgo. That's a really beautiful energy flow, and it will help you to ground your energy and to feel more in control of your physical 3D earthly life, Scorpio. Sometimes we can just be in the darkness for too long. It's time for you, if you feel that way, if you've been in the darkness for a while, it's time to come out of the darkness into the light and take the reins of your life and remember that you are calling the shots. It's time for you to make a choice or a decision, Scorpio. And the cards have to say for you, Scorpio. The card, Scorpio, for you is, I love this, time for crayons. It's time to be playful. I'm an expressive arts therapist, which means that I have been trained in using all the art modalities for healing. And this is basic process art. This is not fine arts. This is picking up crayons or pastels or ink pens and doodling, drawing, expressing, getting color on the page. It helps move the energy out of your body. And sometimes whatever you doodle actually has a message for you. And you can really move the energy in super healing ways by doing that, Scorpio. So, time for crayons. Let yourself be playful. Let yourself be a kindergartner again and start from scratch. Get all of that energy that might be stuck in your head or your body out onto the page, and you will feel so much better, Scorpio. And happy new moon in Libra. Okay, my beautiful friend, thank you so much for your time, energy, your presence, for joining me for this new moon in Libra. I'm really excited about the new moon in Libra. I think we're going to feel so good after this new moon. Yes, it might be a little bit of a stretch. Yes, we're reaching for a new self. We are building our confidence and courage. We're building our ability to advocate for ourselves. And we may be in some negotiations that we come out of later and saying, we both ended up on the same page. It was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. So I hope that this is your experience. Leave me a comment. Let me know what in this video resonates for you. I love hearing from you. I love connecting with you. And I love that together we're building a beautiful, like-minded community. Now, if you would like a personal astrology consultation with your natal chart or a heart's desire reading or a life purpose reading, go to my website and check out my consultations. I have brand new testimonials on there that I've recently added that give you a sense of how other people have, the results other people have gotten from their consultations. But it is my joy to highlight your gifts, your talents, your potential that is in your astrology chart. It comes right off the page to me when I look at your chart. I love reading your chart, and I love sharing with you the current transits, how they're affecting you, how you can navigate them with feeling empowered and with more ease and grace, as well as any future transits that are coming up that would also be empowering for you to know about as well. So the link is below. Go to my website, check those out. Check out my Soul Alchemy coaching or my Clarity coaching if you would like some support. If you would like support from someone who has your back, from someone who wants you to be successful and to feel 100% in alignment with your authentic self, living a soul-connected life. And I have a free gift for you, and that free gift is a guided meditation reconnecting to your spirit. To get your free gift, all you have to do is go to my website, subscribe to my weekly inspirational updates, and you will get an instant download. So until my next video, my friend, I am sending you all my love on this Libra new moon, and I will see you back here very soon.